stress. But the stress we are talking about is not the type of stress people mention, people talk about in the town. Maybe when you have overworked yourself, or when you don't have much in your pocket, when you don't have so much food to eat at home, and things that people begin to talk of stress. Why is the man looking so old? He looks older than his age. It's because of stress. It's not that of stress we are talking about here. But we are talking of stress that we place on bisyllabic or polysyllabic words. And that's exactly what we want to look at now. But first and foremost, we want to know what is stress. In a simple language, stress is an extra force used when pronouncing a particular word or syllable. If you have, for instance, a word that has 2 syllables, or 3, or 4, or more, there is a particular syllable that you will pronounce higher or with greater effort than others. That is the stressed syllable. Now, there are some languages that do not have something like that, like Yoruba now doesn't have anything like that. What Yoruba has is a tone. That's why people say Yoruba language is a tonal language, but English language is a stressed language. Let me take that again. Yoruba language is a tonal language, but English language is a stressed language. So any bisyllabic or polysyllabic word you pronounce in English, there must be a stressed syllable, as long as it's not a monosyllabic word. Of course, you know what I mean by monosyllabic word. That's a word that has just only one syllable. But once it is 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 8, depending on how long the word is, there will be one out of the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 syllables that has to be stressed. That's what we are referring to here. So, stress is an extra force used when pronouncing a particular word or syllable. So, we want to now look at primary stress. Because up here, I have primary and emphatic. Primary and emphatic. But we are looking at primary stress first and foremost. We go to emphatic later, which is simpler than primary. Simpler than primary. All right. Stressing 2-syllable word, otherwise known as bisyllabic, with the first syllable stressed. We want to look at these bisyllabic words with the first syllable stressed here. Later on, we go to the second syllable stressed, but with the first syllable stressed. And what does that mean? In Yoruba language, for instance, they have do, re, mi. Do, re, mi. Do is low. Re is middle. Mi is that of you raise your voice. So the main sound in Yoruba language, the main tone in Yoruba language is what you call stressed in English. Alright. Another thing about this is that if you fail to pronounce a word correctly, putting the stress where it should be, then you miss the answer. Okay, let's look at it. The first one here is challenge. Challenge. And that's why the stress syllable is capitalized, is written in capital letter. The stress syllable. And that one we have this one. Not but So we have challenge. Challenge, not challenge. Challenge. A spinster. Colleague, not colleague. Please take note of that. I know a lot of people out there, they always say, my colleague. It's not your colleague, it's your colleague. So please take note, colleague. Now, we have fortune. We have fortune. We have artist. Artist. We have simple. Then penis. Take note of that. Our people will say what? Penis. It's not penis. Penis. It's even long E. Penis. Penis. So take note. Country. Madam. Not madam. Please take note. Madam, not madam. Stagger. All the stress syllable is written in capital letter. Cordial, cordial. Walnut, walnut. Present. I wrote adjective or noun. Now, if you are in a class and a teacher enters the class and he begins to cause the roll, Oluwade, I'm present, sir. That's his adjective. I'm present, sir. That's adjective. But it is noun. When you say my sister is getting married next week, and I want to buy some present to give to her, is the present. That is noun. So whether adjective or noun, it is present. Pre-stretched, then sent. Then object. Object, that is noun. You know, when you talk of construction of a sentence, a statement or sentence, now we have the subject, we have the object. Object is the receiver of the action of the subject. Object or an object is the receiver of the action of the subject. If there is a ball here and I play the ball. The ball is the receiver of my action. So that's object. Alright, and it is noun. Then we have rebel. Rebel. We have convert. You know, everything here is everything here. Convert. Because they are stressed on the first syllable. Human. Insert. Insert. Adult. Adult. Serving. Serving. Refuse. Refuse. Minute. Minute. Record. Record. Desert. Desert. Mandate. Mandate. Take note, in the exams, what they do is this. You are asked to look for the one that has a different stress pattern. You are asked to pick or take or just pick the option that has a different stress pattern from others. Now, it is like saying, I take 3 from here now. That is A, B, C, D. And I take 1 from the other side. I asked you to pick the one with a different stress pattern. This one, the one there, is different from the 3 I've taken here. A, B, C, D options. So it is that one I will pick. Because these ones, the 3 here, sound alike. But you will go to the other side where you have You know, it's not the same thing as what? As So when anywhere you see and in most cases, the nouns have sound. The nouns in most cases, except those ones that do not belong to any part of speech. Yes. Or do we have anything that does not belong to any part of speech? I doubt. But when you have it's different from what? So these are the ones here. Please, you have to take note. That's how they ask question. Pick the one that has a different stress pattern. A different pattern. Now, we want to look at the other side. Stressing 2-syllable words with the second syllable stressed. Alright. Stressing 2-syllable words with the second syllable stressed. As you have here, obviously we are going to have here because there are just only 2. So we are going to have here. Alright. Now I'm starting with the first one. Because of its being wrongly pronounced. Because of its being wrongly pronounced. We have success. Not success. We have success. Then we have intact. Intact. Then we have condone. Condone. We have canon. canoe. We have canoe. We have crusade. Crusade. We have cassette. Cassette. Then we have the, here you have the noun form of this, which is adult. But here we have adult. Obviously, the two don't sound alike. They sound differently. This one is adult, whereas this one is adult. Here you have human. 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 Here you have humane. They do not have the same sound. Human. Humane. Now we have cocaine. We have cocaine. Then we have demise. I was listening to a teacher on air, on radio the other time. He was reading a passage, one of the past WAEC convention passages. He said, demise or something like that. He pronounced it wrongly, but the Quran pronunciation is demise. Demise. It's not demise. It's demise. So we have rebel. Don't forget here you have rebel. Check it here. You have rebel here. Then you have rebel. Rebel is a noun, while rebel is a verb. You are a rebel. You are a rebel. So you rebel. Stop being rebelling. Alright. Then we have desert. Although desert is not here, but if desert should be here, then it is a noun. An arid place where there is no water. Okay, where water is very scarce. That's a desert. But the verb of under is to desert. To desert a place means to leave a place. Desert. Then the next one is refuse. Don't forget we have refuse here. Somewhere here, yes. We have refuse here. Then you have refuse. Alright. Record. Then you have record. Now, your knowledge of this thing will also help your reading. It will help your reading. Because sometimes you may be expected to say desert and you are saying desert. You may be expected to say refuse and you are saying refuse. You will be expected to say insult and you say insult. So your knowledge of it will help your reading exercises. Now we have mandate here. Then we have mandate. I've been mandated to give you this. I have the mandate of my people. So that is noun. I have been mandated. That is verb. So we have mandate. Then we have conduct. Here you have conduct. Conduct, just like attitude. Attitude or behavior, conduct. But here you have conduct. Then we have, here you have minute. Here you have minute. Whereas under this we have my note. My note. Of course, you know what my note means. My note means very infinitesimal, very small, very infinitesimal, insignificant. So my note. Whereas minute here, we often say 60 minutes make 1 hour. So we have project here. You can have project here, whether written or unwritten. But here you have object. Then here you have a protest, which is noun. Then for this side you have protest. So you can now see the difference between the noun form and the verb form. So here you have progress. Here you have progress. You have insult here. You have insult here. You have contact here. You have contact here. You have artist here. You have artist here. Then you have contest here. You have contest. You have behind. Okay? Away, behind, away, retain, refer. Now let's look at the concluding part of this. There are so many other words, other bisyllabic words that can still be written under this, and yet there are other ones too that can still be written under this one. I just want you to take note of the difference. These ones are stressed on the first syllable, while these ones are stressed on the second syllable. That's where you have remove, confuse, uncouth, enjoy, control, endure, and so on and so forth. So please take note. Now you have 5 questions on things like this in the exam, whether WAEC or NECO or NAPTEP. All right. So having gone through bisyllabic words and how they can be stressed either on the first syllable or the second syllable, so you want to go to 3 syllable stress. 3 syllable words with the first syllable stress. These words, each of these words contains 3 syllables, and we want to see the first syllable stress. That tells us that you are going to have something like me, re, do, All right. Calendar. Remember, we don't have calendar. What you have in English is calendar. Horrible. Cardigan. Emulate. Not emulate. Emulate. Democrat. Entourage. Miracle. Alphabet. Conjugal. Educate. You know, for each of these words, I stress the first syllable. Stress the first syllable. Editor. Emphasis. Edible. Colonize. Erudite. Eczema. Syllable. Nudism. Cartism. So for each of these, that is the way it has to be stressed on the first syllable. That is Now, because we say 3 syllable words, what you are going to do next is to look at those ones that are going to stress on at the middle. So meaning that the middle will be stressed. The next one we want to have a look at. Now let's look at those 3 syllable words that have the stress on the second syllable. Contribute. For your information, not contribute. Please don't say it again. Not contribute, but contribute. Distribute. Condition. Encircle. Encounter. Melodious. Edition. Demonic. Erroneous. Recipient. Remover. Emphatic. Importance. Condolence. But there are people who say what? You say condolence. Condolence. Sporadic. Colonial. Magician. You know, the pronunciation is different from this one. This one is This one is Okay, let's now look at the third one, because you have said 3 syllable words. The one that has to be stressed on the last syllable. There are not many that you have them. Now we want to conclude that three-syllable words with the last syllable stressed. The first set, we have the first syllable stressed. The second set, we have the second syllable stressed. And the last one are these, where you have entertain, tain stressed. Enrollee, lee stressed. Magazine, zine stressed. Expertise, T stressed. Take note of that. It's not expertise. Expertise. Then contravene, guarantee, comprehend. It's an error here. Personnel. But look at that personnel. And here you have personal. This one is personnel. Here you have personal. Now, this one is noun. This one is adjective. You say it's my personal belonging. It's my own. So personal. That you have personnel. Now, like I said earlier, how do they ask questions on this? They will give you 4 words. 4 words. Here you may be given this, and this. Okay. This is the way it's being done. You can be given 3 here, and given 1 here. They ask you, we will see examples later. They ask you, which one has a different stress pattern? Which one has a different stress pattern? If for instance, you'll be having it means the other one will not be it will either be Can you see it? The other one will not be again. It can be or So that is your correct answer. And if you be having the next one will be Can you see the difference? That's the way they set the question. The 3 will be equal, whereas the 4th one will be different. That is, if they ask you to pick the one that has a different stress pattern. And in fact, that is the way questions on this are being asked. Pick the one with a different stress pattern. And if it is only bisyllabic, it may be and the other one will be And if it has been the other one will be So that is why you need to study all these words, and you know how to pronounce each of them very well. Failure to do that, you will miss the answer. You can't just guess. Or anyway, you can guess and get it, but that's guesswork. But once you study it, it becomes very easy. 60 questions, you can do it under 30 minutes. Although it's 45 minutes, you can even do it under 20 minutes. It's 45 minutes. You can do it if you understand, and it's very easy to understand, if only you can study them. If you don't study them, it means you are taking them for granted, and they may be very tough to you if you don't study them. But with all this we have done, later on we are going to look at the particular methods of identifying the stressed syllable in a multi or polysyllabic words, meaning there are some words that have more than 3 syllables. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, even 9 syllables. And for your information, when you have an English word that has 8 or 9 syllables, it's just only 1 syllable that is stressed. It is not like Yoruba language, which is tonal. You know, in Yoruba language, which is tonal, you can have Ademola. Ademola. They say re mi mi mi. We have many me in 3 places. Re mi mi mi. English is not like that. It is only 1 syllable in an English word, maybe polysyllabic or multisyllabic or bisyllabic, that have sound. Sound. Just only 1. No matter how long that word of English is, it's just only one that they're going to have sound. So please, it's very easy, and I want you to make it easy for yourself, so that you don't have any problem identifying the correct answers when you are faced with the exam. Let's see the way questions are asked on this type of topic. I just want us to take these 3. Further examples are coming, further questions are coming. Alright, from the words letter A to D, choose the option with a different stress pattern. As I've told you, meaning that 3 will sound alike, 1 will sound different. The one that sounds different is the correct answer. And the problem you will have is when you don't know how to pronounce these words, which is the major problem students face when it comes to things like this. But once you know how to pronounce, you will definitely know the one that sounds different. Alright, now let's look at the first one. I'm very sure some of you will want to say this, because even in the exams, you will see some teachers, they will show you the packet of your exam papers. Look at it. It is intact. It is intact. But we don't have intact in English. What we have is intact. So this is intact. This is success. This is artist. This is gentle. So which one is the correct answer now? That is gentle. Gentle is stressed on the first syllable. Middle. Then artist, second syllable. Success, second syllable. Intact, second syllable. That's how to get it. Now let's look at the second one. Fortune. I'm sure most of you will say this one is colleague. Not colleague, I said it the other time. Colleague. Fortune. Colleague. Enjoy. Student. Which one is the correct answer now? Fortune. College. Enjoy. Student. It is enjoy. You have And the next one, conjugal, antonym, synonym, contractor. So that's the answer. That's the way they ask the question. 5 questions for this. But the other one, which we are later going into, alright, is different. Because those ones have 4, 5, 6, 7 syllables. So there they will stress the syllables for you. They will stress them for asking you to have the correctly stressed one. So it's quite different from this one. This one you pronounce yourself and it's written normally. So that's it. I advise you to go and study them very well. You have them in your past questions and in your textbooks as well. So study them and you will be happy. Thank you.